Hey guys, up today making a brand new video for you guys. Right off the bat, I want to mention I ordered another headset since I had no luck with the previous ones. This time I'm getting a little bit of a cheaper one because the expensive ones didn't seem to be very good. I'm getting the Microsoft Clear Chat 3000, and the reason I'm getting it is because I've been watching a lot of Cosmo Wright's live streams, and pretty good live stream. I recommend you guys check him out. He does a lot of cool speed runs, and he recommended it. And for like $25, and his audio quality sounds really good. So I'll try this one out. Anyway, so we're doing a Aberrant Spectries task here. Haven't been on much in the past week. Been busy with a lot of stuff in real life. Not like boring stuff in real life, but like fun stuff. I've been going to a lot of like Smash Fest tournaments. I was at one on the 20th, Shockwave, which is a good local Long Island one. Um, if you guys want to check that out on Clash Tournaments, the YouTube channel, there should be a bunch of videos up. Just look, like they're not up yet, but I commentated a lot of like grand finals and finals for all those, so you can check them out. The name of the tournament was Shockwave, so if you see videos listed under that, you might hear me in it. But anyway, in terms of old school RuneScape, like I said, I haven't been playing a lot in the past week, but still kind of interested in it, just not as much as I was initially. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, the game's kind of dying. There's no new content." Um, that's true to an extent, but not fully, and that's kind of what I want to discuss in this video. I mean, the fact is, we still have a good 20,000 people playing it at almost any given time, which is a lot. One thing that doesn't look good is that when you log out and you look at the world list, maybe I'll pull it up real fast. If you look at the worlds, there's a lot of worlds with like 100, less than 200 people on them, which looks bad, but that's just because there's so many worlds. I mean, they really actually gave us quite a bit of worlds. Like when the whole thing with like RuneScape 2007 was announced, I thought we'd get like 4 or 5 worlds, but we got like a shit ton, which is a good thing for sure. It just kind of looks weird because it looks like there's like no players. Even though that's when you add all those numbers up, there's over 18,000 right now. One thing people are definitely noticing is that in the polls, there's less votes. Let me check that out right now. I don't think I'm going to show you guys it, but I'll read out the numbers. If we can attack this Aberrant Spectre or Spectre, I have no fucking idea. So what we're going to do if we look at here, old school feature poll number 7, it got about almost 16. By the time this ends on the 24th, it looks like it'll have around 16,000 votes. And if you look at poll number 1, it had 101,407 votes. Broke both bones and left arm. I'm gonna have to ask what's going on here. All right, so yeah, certainly less votes, but I mean, that's kind of to be expected. When something's brand new, it's always going to be the most exciting. How many times have you guys bought something like material objects and you're like so excited to get it, whether it's like a new game console, a common one is like PCs. Like when I got this PC in 2010, like I was so excited, so glad to have like a nice Windows 7, like really high specs PC, and like I was really like it was just for the first month, it was just like awesome. I use it all the time. It's just so much fun having this awesome PC. And it's still great. It's still fun. It's just, I'm not excited every morning to log on to my PC, even though it's still really nice. Plenty of things like that. With game consoles, obviously, when you look at the sales of a game console, let's just say like the Nintendo Wii, obviously the first month, the sales are going to be the highest because everyone's all excited. The media is talking about it, and then it dies down a little bit. It's still played, still plenty of people playing and buying it. It's just that it's not as exciting a few months after. And the reason that old school RuneScape is having this problem is that there is a lack of new content. As I said, this is to be expected, and it's fine, but some are arguing that it's happening a little bit more than it should in terms of, players leaving. I'll tell you one thing with my friend chat, Andrew AJT62, when the game first came out, it brought back a lot of people on the friend chat who I hadn't seen in a long time. And then slowly it kind of degraded. It didn't happen all at once with players saying, "Hey, Andrew, Old school RuneScape was fun, but I'm just gonna move on. And it's pretty sad to see people leaving that came back. So it's definitely not the excitement it had when it first came back. But it's still fun. It really is. But so the big thing we got going on now is the Nightmare Zone is coming up soon. At least I hope. I mean, I think they've mostly completed it. You can read the development blogs, which I recommend you guys do, and they actually show like beta pictures of the Nightmare Zone, which is it's pretty cool to see, and they talk about like the development of it. It's really interesting to read. And there's also a video on the Old School RuneScape YouTube channel of the endurance mode or whatever, or I don't know what the fuck it's called, but check that out. It's kind of neat to see. That'll certainly be fun. It's something to look forward to. New content, like purely new mini game. So I don't think that's going to be a massive thing because the rewards, unfortunately, we didn't vote in like new armors or anything. It looks like the rewards are just going to be kind of like resources. Like you defeat all those bosses and you get like a bunch of flax or something like that. So the rewards don't look that good. And like I don't know, it looks like it'll be fun for sure to have something new in old school RuneScape, but I don't think it'll last that long. And one thing they talk about in one of the development blogs of it is that I mentioned this in the other video, but essentially they're making it. Where the hell is Yunel? Here's Yunel. Here it is. It's going to be like right around here. And one of the things they mentioned, and I talked about this in a previous video, is that there's a cow, just like a random cow spawn, like level 3 cow, just walking around here. And that's where the waiting room for the Nightmare Zone is going to be. And they actually talked about how they couldn't remove that cow just because they don't have a map editor. And this is something, oh cool, Runefellhelm, that's been a problem with the development of old school RuneScape since the beginning, is that they actually really don't have a clue how to kind of edit a lot of things in the game. Like they can add new NPCs and things like that, but it's like really tough to edit any major things. For example, the reason we don't have bank tabs or a search option available is because they don't have a interface editor. An interface is something like this, I can't show it if we can kill this. Like this is an interface, a little window that pops up. They don't know how to edit this. They don't have the tools to do that. Not that that's not necessarily don't know, but they don't have the ability to do so. And that's a major, major limiting factor. Like with the cow thing, they don't have a map editor. They can't put new NPCs in. I mean, they can, but they can't like take NPCs out. They can't move things around. They can't add new areas to the game, which is why God Wars Dungeon is taking a while. Like if say they wanted to put like an island here, like for a mini game or something, they couldn't do that. They don't know how. Again, I don't know if they don't know how is the wrong terminology. It's just rather they don't have the tools to do so, which is really unfortunate. And they're saying like, yeah, we're working on it, but with the very tiny development team that the game has compared to EOC, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much more anytime soon. So I don't know. It's not their fault. They really only have a few people working on the game, and Jagex seems to be more focused on the EOC. The other thing is that like there's no free to play for old school RuneScape. That's a kind of a weird thing. Like it's kind of more exclusive, and you could make the argument that yeah, we had our chance for free to play if we had gotten 750,000 votes, but that was probably not going to happen. I mean, we got 450,000, which was pretty good, but 750K is kind of far off. I'm glad that they have made it so that you don't need additional membership fees for the game, because if it did, that would be like a major thing, and people would not want to pay that, and it would hurt the game even more. But I think they really need to figure out how they can edit the interfaces. So Wrecked made a video kind of about this a while ago, and he brought up some interesting things. And he did a lot of these little polls, which you guys can go vote in. They're just straw polls, which is a common website for these little polls. So like some things were like free-to-play worlds, which would be definitely cool, but I don't know, Jagex doesn't seem really interested in making that. Now like some people want like other things that are kind of like newer to like RuneScape. Not that new, but like the PJ timer people kind of want, which I don't agree with. I mean, for like hybriding, that kind of would fuck that up. Smoking Kills Quest, which is really just for the Slayer Helm, that's not a big deal. I mean, I probably wouldn't vote for it just because of I kind of like to keep the game how it was in 2007, but I wouldn't really mind that. Bank tabs and search we could definitely use. God Wars I think is a definite yes at this point because it is an update that did come out in 2007. It's not like a 2012 update that's going to come to the game. Dragon Claws, I don't really want those in here, but you can have your own opinion. But my point is that they really got to work on figuring out how they can do all these advanced kind of updates to the game, like God Wars and just things like that. And for the last few months, they just said we really don't have the ability to do that, and it looks like we're not going to be able to do things like that anytime soon, which is a real problem. Also, like, where the hell did they mentioned this recently, but what happened to the pathfinding? Like, you don't see it here, but like a lot of Slayer tasks are just so annoying to do because you get like stuck under the monster and then you have to like run away and then attack them again. Then it happens again. It's just annoying. But I think the one thing that would really help this game is if God Wars was implemented, which, like I said, it's probably not going to be for a long time. But if that was implemented, it would be a lot of fun. God War was a good update for PVM. There's certainly downsides. Everything's black and white. For almost anything that we bring to this game, they'll have an upside and a downside. But I think with God Wars, it would help the game overall. I mean, it's just so fun to go to Bandos and hope for that lucky drop. When you get a drop like that, it's just so much fun, like Bandos task sets, something like that. And I don't think the effects of the new items like God Swords would have too much of an impact on the game. So yeah, the game definitely could use a free to play, even though that doesn't seem to happen. I think they actually commented, like the old school RuneScape people commented on the Sorek video. So let me check that out. So like here's what I'm talking about. This is a comment from old school RuneScape, which is the official, Jagex thing on Sorek's video. Hey, there are a few things I can tell you right now. The bank tabs and search system are things we can't deliver now as we don't have interface editors, which is needed to do this. So really, like, they got to work on getting those interface editors, map editors, things like that. Again, I'm not blaming them if they just don't have the resources to do that. But I mean, even if they do have a very small team, at least try to figure that out. We really need it right now. Smoking kills cannot be introduced per se. However, I think what you really want is a rewards for it. Yeah, pretty much. And there's a possibility we can do similar items, but we really need to understand what you want. Both Dragon Claws and God Wars can't be done right now because of multiple tools we don't have. So, like I've been saying, they need to get those tools, pronto. And just, I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's because they have a small development team. I don't know if it's just because they're not trying, but they need to definitely figure that out. And it's surprising because like '07 used to be like the really popular choice of the two games of EOC and '07. And like Silent Core made a video saying like, what do you guys want to see, '07 vids or EOC? And I was actually really surprised to see that like the majority of the comments were saying, yeah, we want to see EOC vids. So like I said, it's not dying, but it has died down a bit. And new content would certainly be refreshing. While at the same time, let's not go overboard and put, declaws, bounty hunter worlds, and then trade limits in. Let's not go overboard. But small things like searchable, being able to search for items in banks and content updates like God Wars Dungeon that aren't going to affect the game in a major way while still bringing new players in would be good. And free-to-play worlds, the game could definitely use. A free-to-play feature for any game will always make it more popular because, people can say, okay, I'm going to try this out, and if I like it, I'll pay for it. And, a lot of people will see, okay, you have to pay for it, so I'm just not going to try it in the first place. They did leave a comment about free-to-play worlds, which I'll read. Okay, here it is. As for true F2P worlds, the infrastructure is not in place to support the extra players that would come to the game and problems it would cause. So that's kind of a vague answer, like what kind of problems? Could the servers not handle it? Could the economy not handle it? I mean, it would be an adjustment, but if the game had a free-to-play, I think it would help and it would be fine. And, the game had a lot more players when it came out, which I said is natural, but I don't think it's a server issue, other than those fucking German servers where the friends list doesn't work, and they kind of suck. So that's pretty much it. I'll definitely be making more videos again soon, especially if I get the new headset and it's good, you know. Hopefully it should be, and it's definitely an incentive to make new videos. Also, I do kind of feel like playing Paper Mario again, so I'll probably have more segments of that up soon for those of you guys who are interested. And definitely check out Andrew AJT62 Friend Chat. Like I said, not as many people as there used to be in there, but on good days we can still get 5 to 8 people and have decent conversations. So it's definitely worth checking out. Like this video if you enjoyed, and agree that Jagex really does need to get interface editors, map editors, anything they need to do for this new content. And yeah, definitely stay active in old school RuneScape. I'll be playing a little bit more now. And yeah, see you guys later. Subscribe, like, all that jazz, and have a good time.